Crap.
I got it going now. Woo.
You caught me singing to start the show. I hate it when that happens.
So you want me?
I'll be your song.
I'll be a background singer for you if you want me to.
Nobody wants us to sing, Willie. Nobody does.
I do. I want to
No,
sing.
no, you don't want me to sing.
We can be a not quartet. What was it? A triplet? Yeah, we can be a triplet.
A barbershop.
You mean a trio?
Barbershop trio. That would be us.
Yeah, trio probably. Let's just do that.
3 bearded dudes singing songs in a barbershop randomly. I don't see this ending poorly at all.
Nah.
Not at all. Not at
Let's
all.
do it.
Let's
what
do
are we
this
singing?
thing. We can't sing anything that's licensed because then we get sued and taken off the air and bad things happen. It's kind of the problem of being a podcaster.
Isn't there like a 5-second thing we can sing or something? Like a little clip?
Supposedly, and I don't want to confirm this now, the Happy Birthday copyright was overturned, so it is now...
yeah.
But aren't they still fighting it or something?
They're still fighting it, but right now it has gone to no longer protected by copyright. So theoretically, anyone could sing it and not have to pay rights back to people. That being said,
restaurants everywhere are enjoy.
Oh, I know, right? I'm not looking forward to trying that because I don't want them to come after me, who has no money, when they're like, "Oh, screw this. We'll just go after the little people in the meantime and suck up as much money as we can until they say we can't." I'm also a cynical person, so there's that too.
Apparently.
Just a little bit.
Hey, have we started yet?
Oh, we're on the air. We've just been rambling aimlessly.
Hey, Willie, tell us the story.
Oh, I sit down for Uncle Willie's story time.
Oh, I wish I had a bump for that.
No, just sit on the lap. It's okay. I'll tell you a story about this was about 9 years ago. I was going to go visit my buddy. He was at a college, and we did something called Amp Guard. I think more people call it LARPing.
Nice.
I did it for a little bit. It was fun as hell. I mean, we didn't really have any people like doing magic and stuff like that. It was just mostly like pole arms, sword and shields, and all that. It was fun. But apparently it was not going that day, and I was just meeting him up there, and I couldn't find anybody. I was like, okay, I guess I'll just turn back and go back to my truck and go my merry way home. Then all of a sudden, out in the background, I heard a loud boom sound. Boom! I was like, what was that? Is there a quarry near here or something? I don't remember this. And I was like, I still started walking back to my truck. I was like, you know what? I don't want to be bored at home today, so let's go investigate this sound. It sounds like it's just on the other side of campus. So I go through the campus.
And I just hear Ghostface scream, "Why don't you just come out here to investigate this strange noise or something?"
Yeah, I was a stereotypical horror movie guy. Let's just do this.
Willie would die in the first scene, people, just so you know.
Probably. So I get to the edge of campus, and I can still hear the sound. It goes off again, and it's still further out. I'm like, I mean, I've gone this far. I might as well keep on. I mean, I'm not just going to stop now. And it's like a little wooded area, and then a meadow right behind that. I go down this hill, and I make my way through this meadow. Briar plants. I hate them. Little prickly. God, they sting. But I make myself go through it. And at the end of the meadow is like another little small line of trees going on either side, and then I finally could see on the other side of that is a neighborhood. So I'm like, okay, I can either just stop now, or I can run through this guy's backyard and continue on through the neighborhood to follow the sound, because I'm still hearing it every so often, just going, boom! So it wasn't fireworks, for sure. It sounded like TNT going off. So I like, all right, so he's not in there. He just went inside his house. So I charged through his driveway and into the street.
Oh my God, this is going to be terrible, isn't it?
And so I'm going through this neighborhood, just down the street, just following echolocation, the sound. It's got to be here somewhere. Making my way through the streets, and I come across this big chain link fence, like going up. I'm like, okay. Oh, luckily, there's a gate over there. And on the other side of that is a big-ass hill. So I open the gate, going through, and I find myself in the back of an elementary school. And I'm like, okay, what's going on? There's a bunch of cars parked here, and it's Saturday. Why are a bunch of cars here on Saturday? And it's school. So I finally make my way through, following this line of cars, and I still hear the sound going off. And
Yeah,
I
launching
go,
rockets.
and I see news truck, and then I finally see everything. What's going on? It's a Civil War reenactment.
Oh, nice.
Oh, nice.
And what I was hearing was the cannon fire.
That's awesome.
Yeah, you can hear that from a distance.
Yeah. So I'm just walking around. I see a news crew. They actually stopped me and get my impression of it. So I'm like, yeah, I just randomly heard a sound. I just had a little adventure to get here. So I was kind of on the news for a little bit for this.
That's a pretty
Nice.
cool way to end up on the news, I'll be honest.
Now what sucks though is it's in the summer, the middle of summer. It is really hot.
So what you're saying is you sweat your ass off before they put you on the news.
No, I had to walk my ass all the way back to my truck. There was no easy way.
You could have asked them for a ride. Be like, hey guys, since I did this, how about you take me back to my truck?
No, so it was a good 30-minute trip. I had to run back through the guy's driveway back to the meadow. Luckily, I remember where I went.
That's fantastic.
Nice.
All right, boys and girls, you can leave my lap now. It's all story time's over.
No more sitting on Willie's lap. So, welcome to episode 178 of the All Things Good and Nerdy podcast. We like to open each show each week with a random story. This week, Willie had the story because Naki, who normally handles our stories, couldn't make it today. And in all fairness, I kind of enjoyed the fact we didn't have to hear a puke story about children this time. As funny as it is, I feel bad for Naki when I laugh at the puke story she tells.
Yeah.
I don't.
And apparently, didn't she also do something this week? Another attack of body fluid throughout the workspace, I think.
I saw something like that on Twitter, and I felt
Yeah.
bad for her. But then I also felt bad because there was no mention of Tim Tom.
Oh, yeah, I miss Tim
I
Tom.
was hoping for Tim Tom to come back. But I did want to take a chance to welcome everyone to episode 178, recorded live on Sunday, September 27th, 2015. You got Anthony and I here as per normal, and our new guest host extraordinaire who can't find a way to quit us, and we're happy about that, one Willie D. Nelson.
Thank you. Don't worry. You don't go living through life named Willie Nelson and don't have a couple of good stories to tell.
I think
True.
you would have to have some good stories. I think it's just like a genetic requirement or something.
We're going to have Willie do just like 18 episodes in a row, catch up to Numrich. He's coming for you,
Well,
Numrich!
see, the thing is, Numerous can't catch up because he works on Sundays.
Yeah, he does.
So
Sucker.
we can't really have a guest host war right now because he can't fight in the war. It's saddening to me. We miss you, All Father of ATGN.
By the time Willie gets caught up, Brian might have 2-3 new jobs by then. It's going to take a while.
Who knows, man? I don't know how to predict these things anymore, but how you guys doing this week? Has it been a good week?
Good.
Working
Sloughing
overtime.
off. Getting the tattoo into leprosy mode.
Ooh.
A couple chunks left.
Ew.
Nothing like waking up in bed and finding chunks of colored skin. So gross.
That's a lovely way to start this show, isn't it?
Battle scars.
Yep. But yeah,
I don't-
it's almost healed, so I'm happy. Monday I start working out again, so I feel bad because it's been a lazy ass week. I haven't done any working out this week because my arm hurt so bad.
Well, I mean, it's not like you weren't doing it for a good reason.
Yeah, but I really don't think I needed a week off from the workout for the weight I'm trying to hit by fucking the end of next month. But I think my body needed a week off from 6 days working out a week. It has been kicking my ass, so it probably ended up being a much better thing than I'm admitting at this point. We'll see on Monday how I feel after that workout.
Yeah, Monday is going to be your sign of whether this is, oh God, what did I do, or whatnot. It could be problematic. Or it could be
I
vastly entertaining.
Yeah. Either way, I'll be sore. But yeah, I think I'd been overdoing it because I got up to the point I was doing my sprints 6 days a week, and I was starting to kill my feet to where like my legs
can
just
see
hurt all the time. So yeah, I've revamped my workout again, and so I'm doing the Captain America stuff Monday, Wednesday, Friday. But then that's all I'm doing. It's just the weight training, no sprints, no other cardio. And then Tuesday and Thursday is the 1,000 rep men's health workout on Tuesday, the Stephen Amell workout on Thursday, and then Saturday I just do random whatever. But then Tuesday, Thursday, and Saturday I'll do sprints. Figure if they're 3 days a week, it won't kill my feet so bad.
Here's hoping, right?
Yeah, six was far too much. I thought I actually got shin splints for the first time ever. That's how much running I was doing, which all I'm doing is sprinting across the backyard. So I'm definitely not built for running.
So now that Anthony's made me feel bad about the level I work out, I'm going to just say, hey, why don't we roll into the news of the week?
Live from the ATGN studios on the internet, it's the news of the week.
That's right, awesome people. It's that time of the show where we tell you what we think is the most important news of the week, which doesn't always mean it's the most important news that you think happened this week. But hey, we think it's important, and if you don't, tell us what you think's important. There's various ways to get in contact with us, and we'll tell you at the end of the show. So, I see Willie and I both have Star Wars news, so let's go with Anthony first for the Marvel news, even though we're all staying in the Disney universe here.
Yay!
That's true. It is all the House of the Mouse now. We got a little bit of confirmation for Spider-Man in the MCU, where Slash Film talked to Mark Webb, and then they talked to the guys helming the new film. It was kind of cool that they talked to Mark Webb about it, because he was the guy who did Amazing Spider-Man 1 and 2 and had plans for 3 and then ended up, basically getting the boot. And it was cool because he said they were asking what he thought about the inclusion, even though he's no longer at the helm. And he said, I'm very excited for all the folks at Marvel and what they're going to do with that character. I think he belongs in that universe, and there's a real excitement to see what they come up with. Maybe we'll all be on a panel someday, Sam, me, and whoever directs it, and then they announce later on that John Watts is going to be the director of the Spider-Man film. Says that they pointed out they've been wanting to go younger with the new Spider-Man, and Tom Holland, who is the new kid cast as Spider-Man, is 19, but has a baby face, so he can play quite younger. They got him in his scene for Civil War. Let's see. The rumored timeline for the events of Captain America and Civil War and Spider-Man is, according to the timeline, if proven correct, the events of the standalone Spider-Man movie will take place about a year after the events of Civil War. Going into Civil War, Peter Parker will have been swinging about as Spider-Man for about a year. So they're saying that when he takes up the mantle, he's going to be 15.
Okay.
So we're
Like
looking
that.
at a super young Peter Parker, like basically the end of junior high going into high school. And so, yeah, we will more than likely see a Spider-Man where we'll get, if it's 3 movies in a row, which, hopefully we at least get a trilogy this time with Tom Holland, we'll see him appear in Civil War, and then we'll see 3 movies in a row of him where he's actually in high school for all 3 movies.
Well, he was, what,
Awesome.
15, 16 in the comics when he became Spider-Man, so 15's about right.
Yeah, it's just, I think it was because of with it in the 60s, and with the skinny ties whenever they were out of style, and wide ties whenever they were out of style, because that's the way Parker's luck runs. He always looked a little bit older, but they went with because in the article they're using pictures from the Ultimate Spider-Man, and in Ultimate Spider-Man, Mark Bagley drew him much younger, to where when he first gets the powers, he looks like he's 13, 14 years old, like he's super young.
Mm-hmm.
Maybe 15, and then even early, and with Miles Morales, they went even younger.
Miles was,
So,
what,
with Tom
13 when he
Holland-
got the powers?
Yeah, I think Miles was 13, and so with Tom Holland looking as young as he is, I don't think it'll be any problem for them to do a trilogy of films with that kid over the next, say, 6 years, and he'll still be believable as a high schooler, like a senior, by the end of that 3rd film. Which,
yeah.
I mean, in all fairness, Andrew Garfield doesn't look young. And so the fact that they made him basically getting out of high school at the end of the first movie, it made sense that he was graduating, because he graduated at the start of the second movie.
Yeah, that's right.
Yeah.
Second movie.
'Cause,
the
he's
very
trying
beginning.
to get to graduation when he first meets Max Dillon. But yeah, it made sense because just Andrew Garfield doesn't look that young, and so yeah, the timeline on that one was good. But yeah, it looks like this one we're going to get a very, very young Peter Parker.
I'm okay with that. I think it's part of the ongoing youth movement they have, because if you look at all of the main characters in the MCU now, they're all mid-30s or higher, is what you would assume by looking by the characters, not necessarily the actors portraying them.
Yep.
Yeah. Yeah, and I love it too because they have the awesome Steve McNiven photo, or not photo, but the panel, which is the big one from Civil War, where it says, "My name is Peter Parker, and I've been Spider-Man since I was 15 years old."
Right.
It's well, we're gonna make Spider-Man 15 then.
So
Nice.
I have the variant cover of that they put out. It was the second printing they did of the book that is literally that panel on the cover of that issue of Civil War with him taking off the
Nice.
mask, and
It's a damn good panel.
but it's Steve McNiven, man.
Yeah.
Everything he do is gorgeous. His Captain America is some of the most beautiful thing I've ever seen, because he literally draws each of the individual fish chainmail scales on his
Yes,
armor.
he
and
does.
It's
Oh,
gorgeous.
man.
It
My
is
favorite though was
absolutely gorgeous.
because he did Old Man Logan,
Right.
and his fucking old man Wolverine really does look like a altered version of an old Clint Eastwood. Like, his old man Logan is fucking beautiful. And McNiven is slow. He's super slow. And people give him shit about it, but he has never once turned in a book that wasn't worth the wait. Because, I mean, and,
Right.
you know, Civil War itself, like, he did the 6-issue mini or 6 or 8 issues that was the main book of Civil War. And every damn page in that book was gorgeous.
Yeah,
That
for
boy
those
can draw his
anyone
ass.
watching the video right now, I just pulled up a panel that he did. It's got Bucky and World War II cap in it, and I think it's just gorgeous. You can see every individual scale on the armor on there. He's a fantastic artist.
Yeah, he's one of the few that still does caps in that era where he'll do each individual scale and then makes the headpiece look like it's cloth.
Yeah, it's super well done. I'm a huge fan of his work. I
I'm
love
trying to remember, what book is McNiven doing after the launch? See if I can find it while
That
we're going.
I don't know. While you're
While
looking
you
that
guys
up,
start talking Star Wars.
yeah, while you're looking that up, I'll move us into some of the Star Wars news. I'll go with mine first because there might be some opportunities for some complaining and things like that. If you listen to the Gonna Geek podcast, you might have heard me talk about it already, but it's such an interesting topic that I wanted to bring it back. So there is a rumor that has come from the Making Star Wars website. They've heard through the grapevine that one Hayden Christensen, who portrayed Anakin in the prequels, will be making an appearance in Star Wars Episode VIII. The direct quote says, "A team in the UK are soon heading to the US to begin training Hayden Christensen for a Star Wars Episode VIII appearance of some sort."
Oh, wait, no, I thought we did mention this last week because I went, no!
I don't think we brought this one up last week because this news didn't come out until the 22nd. That was 5 days ago.
Maybe it was just
We
they
made a
added
Vader
to
joke
it.
of some kind, but
Yeah, I remember
no,
that.
because the story that came out last week that builds on this, actually, I remember now, is that the rumor is, and this is all fan speculation and conspiracy theory, so if you're worried about spoilers, tune out for about 5 minutes. If you're watching the video, wait until the spoiler tag goes away. It's all speculative spoilers. But here is one of the theories is, even I think J.J. Abrams has said that Kylo Ren is kind of obsessed with Darth Vader. He was a disciple of him, wants to learn all about him. We've seen the panels in the trailer where he has like the mangled Vader helmet in front of him. We know that the Kylo Ren toy has a voice clip that he says that weapon is mine, and we're assuming that's in reference to the blade that John Boyega's character is carrying, whose name I forgot all of a sudden. Finn is carrying in there. So it looks like Kylo Ren is trying to assemble a bunch of Darth Vader artifacts. So the rumor that's going around is that Kylo Ren's end goal is to basically clone Darth Vader.
Nice.
And that Episode
Oh.
7 might end with a successful cloning of Darth Vader, and in Episode 8 you would have Hayden Christensen as Anakin/Vader in the movie. Do I believe it? Absolutely not. It sounds like pure fan speculation, and it sounds like a rumor they got started, and then this one came out that, Hayden Christensen might be in there because it sounded good based on those other rumors. I don't think it's going to happen. If it does, it's probably a flashback of some kind, or like a holographic recording they get of young Anakin, the hero with no fear during the Clone Wars that showed off as propaganda.
I'm gonna see a Force Ghost happening. That's probably how it's gonna be.
See, I was thinking Force Ghost until they said in that clip that Hayden Christensen was going to begin training for an Episode 8 appearance.
He doesn't need to train for anything if he's just doing Force Ghost, or if he's doing a holocron.
Right,
Like,
because
what would he need to train for if he's doing just a holocron
Yeah,
image?
Huh.
they did a lot of their own stunts for the saber fighting and stuff in Episodes 2 and 3, both him and Ewan McGregor. So part of me is thinking flashback. Hayden Christensen hasn't aged that much. He could portray the role again. You could really do the same thing with Ewan McGregor if you wanted. What I hope happens is they do Ewan McGregor in this flashback too, if that's what it ends up being, and you have the team again. You get Skywalker and Kenobi, flashback to the Clone Wars. That would be
cool.
fantastic. I do not
I don't
believe...
know. A cloned Anakin, though? That I could fucking dig it.
Oh, man.
I
But
could
would
see
he-
JJ making a good story out of that. I mean,
But
literally,
it's not
The Force
JJ.
Awakens is that they bring back fucking Vader? Like,
Yeah.
fucking minds would explode all over the world if the end clip of Episode 7 is Hayden Christensen coming out of a Bacta tank. They're
That
like,
would
hey,
be
look,
interesting.
we brought back Skywalker.
But bear in mind that Episode 8 is not directed or written with J.J. Abrams. It's Rian Johnson, I think, is the guy's name.
Well, true, but I mean, they're going to continue whatever storyline JJ does in 7 because that's just a given.
Right. And I guess they've also pretty much said that Vader's going to make an appearance in Star Wars Rogue One also. So there's
Ooh.
lots of Vader noise going on. And
Nice.
that one makes sense because it's all about the thieving of the Death Star plans.
Yeah, so he would be running around in the suit during that time. And I found it. Steve McNiven will be working with Charles Scholl on the Uncanny Inhumans.
Ooh.
So that might be Marvel's new X book that you'll want to pick up since they're getting rid of all the fucking X-Men.
Right. So that was my little Star Wars piece of news. I just like the fanboy speculation. I don't think the fan theory ends up being true.
Oh,
I
I
think
do
it just
like
sounds
that.
like wishful thinking.
Yeah, because that would be an awesome fucking thing. If at
What-
the end of the movie we have Kylo Ren standing next to Anakin Skywalker, who is basically Darth Vader but with his arms and his legs.
But he redeemed himself in the end. So would he come back as Anakin or would he come back as Vader?
It would depend. Yeah, well,
This gets you in a whole kind
Yeah,
of
the whole-
ethical debate almost. I don't know if you can really have an ethical debate about cloning in the Star Wars universe, but does a clone truly have a soul?
well,
How
it's
does
a
the
question
clone
too.
learn?
Does
learn?
the clone have any memories, or is it just
Ooh.
literally the biological clone
So,
and it would have
it-
no memories?
If you go with how they did the episode 2 cloning and how Tim Zahn did it in the books, and sorry guys, it's going to be really nerdy for a second, it was flash learning they did. They were programmed or learned while they were being grown in the tank. So
but
they
at
were
the
able to
same
pass
time,
things that way.
in the Dark Empire, the
Dark
Uh,
Empire doesn't exist anymore, though.
yeah, but so it's still a story. But
No.
the Emperor just had bodies that were cloned, but they were brainless. Like
Right.
there was nothing
And he
in
would
there.
literally
And he
move
could
his
hop
presence
with
from
the
body
Force.
to body.
Yeah.
So if you went by that logic that Anakin re-inhabits a cloned body, it would be redeemed Anakin.
It would be the redeemed one because it would be the Force ghost version of Anakin having all of his memories.
Again, I think it's
Would
all
be cool.
moot speculation. I think if you want to see this story happen, go to fanfiction.net and you can probably find someone who's already written it.
Very true. It's probably already there.
It's definitely an interesting twist on things. I just don't see that being the way it would go. And with the huge amount of security and how nothing's gotten out from Star Wars 7, I just don't believe it. I could be wrong. In fact, I very well could be wrong. And if I'm wrong, feel free to come back, send us some mail and be like, hey, Chris, in episode 178, you said this was never going to happen, and it's what happened, so you effed up. And like,
I'm just saying, Pain and Gain, Batfleck, and The
yeah,
Rock is Black Adam. Like, we've got a good track record.
we really do. We got to stop being so good at our non-paying jobs.
Don't worry, I'm the one that's going to mess all that up. You're welcome.
So let's get to your news, Willie. What are you going to mess up for us on that? Are you going to make me spend a bunch of money or lose a bunch of free time with what you're about to tell me?
If I'm going to waste your time, I don't want to be a part. Okay. Well, no, it's going to be free because the beta for the PC, PS4, and Xbox One version of Star Wars Battlefront is on the way October 8th.
Ooh.
Something tells me my PC probably couldn't run it. My PC's getting old.
It's a good thing my PS4 does not mind that.
I still
At the
gotta
same time, it was
those.
also announced the Rainbow Six beta goes live about the same time. They're doing free signups for that through both PSN, Xbox Live, and Amazon for some reason. So if you want to play the new Rainbow Six, that beta is available too. But I'm so stoked that EA basically said, yeah, anyone wants to play the Battlefront beta, you're welcome to do it because there's tons of excitement geared up for this.
Oh, you know I will be. October 8th.
I know
I'll
I
be
will
there
be
with
too.
bells on.
And I'm sure you're going to be streaming that on Twitch.
Nope. I'm not sure if that's allowed.
Yeah, most
Oh.
beta stuff I don't think you can stream.
I don't know. I
But I-
streamed the Smite beta on Xbox Live.
I
It would
did
depend
sign
on
up.
their, what is the CDA or whatever?
Well, I mean, you would think
EA?
they would disable the console from streaming it if they don't want it done.
I did get an email from Gearbox, makers of Borderlands,
Ooh, I love Borderlands.
and they had me sign up for the Battleborn beta.
Ooh.
So hopefully I'll be getting that sometime.
Ooh.
And it distinctly says no streaming, no
Right.
recording.
Well, that one he won't record for us, but he might be able to do it on Battlefront, and you might be able to do it on Rainbow Six. And if you can, go to twitch.tv/SouthPorky and watch Willie play some games.
That's me.
Like how I spun that in there?
Oh yeah.
Little tease.
Segway.
So before we roll off of the news this week, since it's semi-news-ish, we're starting the fall TV season with some new shows and some returning new shows, I guess, if that makes sense. So, have you guys had a chance to watch any of the new fall shows that started up, or were they any that you wanted to see?
Just the one.
I have not seen any of it, sadly. I've been working overtime all this week.
So, which one did you see, Anthony?
I'm a state employee. We don't believe in overtime. I was able to see Lady Sif naked in Times Square, which is the only reason to watch Blind Spot. No, actually, it was a really good show. The very basis of it is this chick literally wakes up in a bag in Times Square, covered in head-to-toe tattoos that are less than like 2 weeks old, and has absolutely no memory of who she is, how she got there, anything. But she still has like physical memory. So they end up showing that early on, where she actually gets into a fist fight with a couple of guys and just fucking wrecks them. And she goes nuts, and it's to the point where by the time she's done, she's basically put one dude through a wall. She has a half-broken broom handle across the other dude's neck, and she's choking him to death. And the FBI agent gets back to her and stops her, and he's like, "Fucking stop! You're killing him!" And when she lets go, she has this shock look in her eyes, because then all of a sudden she realizes what she just did over the past 2 minutes. She's like, "What the fuck just happened?" Because she has no idea how it is that she just destroyed these two guys. And
so is this
what?
So is this just Jason Bourne mixed with Memento?
So people have said it has a very Bourne feel to it, and I haven't watched it yet. It's on my list.
A little bit, but I would have to say it's because by the end of the first episode, because you think it's kind of going to be like that, and they're really not going to give you anything. But by the end of the first episode, they've already tracked down some information about her. They are making guesses on who she is because it's a bunch of redacted top secret shit, so they're not positive. The FBI, because they're trying to figure out who she is, but then she actually has her first memory going back to who she actually is, and then they actually give you another flashback sequence. So even by the end of the first episode, you start learning about her, and she starts getting a little bit of her memory back. So it's one of those things where you're gonna have to see why this happened to her, and as she's basically getting her memories back, finding out whether or not she still wants to be the person that she was beforehand, or if she's going to become somebody new. So it was a really, really good episode. And damn it, Alexander.
Jamie Alexander.
Jamie Alexander. She's fucking fantastic in it, because in the whole start of the first half of the episode, basically she's just scared and lost, and she plays it off really well. Because we've just seen her as Sif running around kicking ass, and for the whole first half hour of the episode, she was just very vulnerable, very kind of lost puppy dog-ish. But yeah, she was great. I think it's going to be a really fun show.
So it sounds like a mix of the old John Doe show on Fox from the early 2000s,
yeah.
Jason Bourne,
which
and
I loved John Doe. I'm still mad that they never really finished it. The show ended,
to be expected.
But yeah, it was one of those ones that's like, oh, we still don't know how the fuck he had all the world's knowledge in his head but didn't know who he was.
Right.
That was such a weird premise for a show. And then I think was at the end of the second or third season. He saw one person that he recognized from his old life, but she was on a ferry.
Yeah.
And he couldn't get to her. It's like, what the fuck? It's like, oh, this sucks.
So it's on my list to watch. I'll probably watch it this afternoon in between watching fantasy football scores update and things like that. I'm really hoping it does well. The only thing that has me bummed out is if it does well, it means we probably don't get Lady Sif on Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D. this season. So it's like a double-edged sword. I really want it to do well, but I really want a Lady Sif appearance on Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D.
Well, they're adding in all the Secret Warriors this season. I think they're going to have enough cameos and other actors coming through there that you're not going to really notice that the Norse people don't show up. They don't have to show up every season.
I also want Daredevil to show up somehow, but I don't expect that to happen. Or Jessica Jones or Luke Cage. Then I think that would be an awesome little crossover, but I think they're going to wait until after Jessica Jones airs before they'd even consider it. So back half of Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D., my conspiracy theory is we get a Jessica Jones cameo.
Or have the Punisher come in and just start wrecking everybody.
Ooh, that'd be awesome. But the problem is Punisher's not going to show up until next year on Daredevil.
And he's not going to be the Punisher yet. He's going to be
He will be. He will be after Daredevil airs, though.
Well, yeah, at the end of the season.
Are we going to have to wait the whole
They're going to show him as an actual cop, though. That's the part that I like.
I think it's going to build to him.
Yeah. I think the series finale is going to be, the season 1, the finale was, bam, here's Daredevil in the suit. Season 2, the end episode will be, bam, here's Punisher in the suit, ready to kill fucking mobsters.
I think you're going to get about halfway through the season, and then he starts to become the Punisher from that point. That's when the tragedy occurs, and then the back half of the season is Daredevil having to deal with this guy that literally gives 0 Fs and is trying to kill everyone that has done him wrong. I think that's how it's going to go. But some other new shows that started up, I know you guys haven't watched yet. I finished Heroes Reborn last night before I went to bed, actually. I loved Season 1 of Heroes. I really enjoyed the first half of Season 2 of Heroes until the writer's strike ruined it. Season 3, I watched begrudgingly, and Season 4, I still ask to this day, why did I watch it? So what I will say is they have got me back right now.
Nice.
But don't F it up again.
There's one scene that really made me hate Heroes. Like you would not believe. I think it was the 3rd season or 4th season, I can't remember. But it was Nathan and Peter going against Siler, and I forget who was in I think it was Hayden Panettiere in the hallway, and they said, no, wait, you stay here. We got to go fight them. They go into the hotel room, and the doors close, and you see a bunch of lights going through the cracks. I was like, no, come on, now, come on, let's see it. You're not going to show it. Are you serious?
Yeah, that was a budget issue.
Oh, my God, I was so pissed.
I don't blame you. In all seriousness, I think, who knows if it'll go this way or not. It's only a 13-episode season they're doing for Heroes Reborn, so I think that helps them in regards to Heroes' big problem was they could do a great first half of a season, and then the second half generally sucked. So here, everything's condensed into 13 episodes. The problem is, all of the new characters, I don't care about them yet. They were on screen, I'm like, okay, when's Hornrim Glasses comes back? I'm like, Hornrim Glasses, you're back, I love you.
Now, there is one thing I want to ask about, and since we're talking about Heroes, second season, a little short one. Thank you, Writer's Strike.
Yeah.
But remember, they went to that alternate timeline with he brought that Iris girl.
They left her there.
Yeah, and then they never mentioned anything.
Yeah.
Yeah. Thanks, Writer's Strike.
There was lots of things that were left on the writer's strike.
Well,
but I was going to ask, how did you like Zachary Levi?
I enjoyed Zachary Levi's character. It's very understated, and I think it's one I'm going to begin to enjoy more with a little bit of time. But right now, really, the big draw for me is Hornrim Glasses trying to figure out what happened to him. And they bring back one of my favorite characters from the early run of Heroes, and I won't say anything else, because when you see what happens, you'll be like, oh, damn, why? There's some nice, interesting reveals, and the mystery of Noah Bennett trying to figure out what happened to him since the incident in Odessa. I think that's going to be what carries this season, and they did show the preview and the stuff coming up, and I'm super excited for Masaoka to come back as Hiro Nakamura.
Oh yeah.
Hell yeah.
I mean, they showed just a clip of him, and he's got an arm on Hornrim Glasses' shoulder. He's just like this. He goes, "It's good to see you, my friend," and I'm like, "Yes, yes."
Nissan Versa.
Yeah, because really the only characters you get from the old Heroes run in this 2-part series is a character who I won't name. You get Noah Bennett, and you get a picture of Dr. Suresh, and Dr. Suresh is mentioned a few times. So they're definitely setting up a lot of new things. Actually, I lied. There's another character that they recast, and when they explain who they are, you'll be like, that's her? If you enjoyed Heroes, give it a chance. You'll probably like it. If you don't, I understand, because Heroes has broken our heart before, and it could theoretically do so again. And that's honestly why I was hesitant to watch it. I was like, I don't know if I can go through this crap again. I'd be like, oh man, these guys crushed me.
It's still superheroes on TV without suits.
Here's the thing now. There's so many other superhero shows on TV now. They're not by themselves on it. So if you don't like it, there's plenty of other shows you can watch, because Supergirl starts next month. You've got all the old stuff that's coming back now.
They need to learn. They need to learn they can't pull their punches. You need to do it if you're going to do it. Don't be like, handicapping all their powers.
Yeah, like they did to Peter after they realized he was OP.
Jesus. It's like you can do anything, and you're going to do nothing. Okay.
So this is a good chance to mention also, we're always recruiting for new podcasts on the Gonna Geek Network, and we don't have podcasts for things like Heroes and Blind Spot and the next show I'm going to mention. So if it's something you guys are interested in, start something up, send in an application. You can find all that information on the front page at GonnaGeek.com. Just follow the links to submit new podcasts to the network. Big Papa's going to write me a nice little thank you note for doing that, I bet.
Yes, he will.
So one last show I had on my list, and I'm probably missing some, and if I am, feel free to let us know in the chat room. We'll bring them up later. Limitless. I didn't watch it yet, but it is the continuation / sequel to the Limitless movie, with Bradley Cooper's character returning in the TV show, and he's actually an executive producer on the show. So I will watch it at some point this week to figure out whether it's worth a watch. I'm intrigued by it. I just don't know enough yet to say whether it's any good. I don't know. Did either of you guys watch it?
I didn't, but I did like the movie. The movie was cool.
So it's on my list. If anyone in the chat room has watched it, let us know. But that's pretty much what we've got for new fall shows so far. I'm sure we'll bring up the ones we missed next week, and I'll give an update on Heroes to tell you guys whether it's worth your time still or not, because I really want to love it again. I loved season 1 so much.
I'll have to check NBC's website and see if they have that first episode up to watch for free.
So the first episode of Heroes, they should have it online, because I remember seeing something about watching it in our app. It is 2 hours long. It's 2 hours long
it's a
with
2-hour one?
limited commercial interruption, because I guess what's it called? Cadillac paid a bunch of money to basically have Cadillac cars featured in the show and do limited commercials.
It's Cadillac this time instead of Nissan?
It's Cadillac instead of Nissan, yeah. But it's not as direct as it was like in season 2 when Claire's like, "Thanks for my new Nissan Rogue, Dad," and I was like, "Oh."
Oh no, it was like Willie said earlier, it was all about Hero. Fucking Nissan Versa! Nissan Versa! Yeah. Like Masaoka went nuts saying Nissan every time he could.
So
it's like he had fucking Tourette's.
Yeah, so it wasn't that direct about Cadillac. You'll notice the Cadillac tie-in at one point. I don't want to spoil it for you guys because it's actually kind of funny.
Don't you dare.
I'm not going to spoil anything, but you guys, if you enjoyed Heroes, you'll probably enjoy Heroes Reborn, but I think it's going to have the same problems as the original Heroes.
I better not.
Well, in all fairness, yeah, you would talk about OP. Between Skylar and Peter, it's like we have 2 characters with unlimited power sets that can do anything, and writers that aren't smart enough to figure out how to use those power sets correctly.
That's true.
That was the most annoying part.
But you guys,
if you have a rogue-type character, you have to limit them somehow. Otherwise, you have to admit that they can do anything, and they are fucking unstoppable.
And we're not talking about Amnesia now.
Yeah.
No.
Though Amnesia Peter was fun. Wakes up laser blasting people, not knowing who the fuck he is or how he did it.
I don't know, man.
He should have done it more, though.
Oh, hell yeah.
Season 2 was just so rushed. It's hard to look back at parts that make, oh, that was awesome. When you're like, man, if they'd had the proper time, they could have really told a good story.
I'm the sucker that has season 2 on Blu-ray. Yay.
I do too, but I also paid $7 for it.
Box at some point.
It's on, and if you want to get caught up, you're like, Heroes, I heard a lot about that, but I want to watch it. It's all on Netflix. I'd say watch the first season for sure, and then you could read the wiki for the rest to be caught up for Heroes Reborn.
And Heroes, now I think about it, Heroes Season 4 gets me the same way that fucking X3 did. The Jamie Madrox's character. They have Multiple Man at the carnival.
Yeah.
Yep.
I love Multiple Man.
It should have been so good because it was Robert Knepper. But, all right, I think we've bitched enough about New Fall TV. And, well,
We
not
did?
necessarily bitching, but we've talked about it enough, and we know that there's other stuff that we need to watch. And there's more stuff starting next week, I think. I got to check my DVR. Man, it's the fall. Yeah. It's time to lose all my time because all the comic book TV shows come back. But because we like to do fun things in here, I think I'm going to cue us up for a nice little game after we get out of this bump. I just liked it because it sounded porny. Not corny, porny.
Born.
Exactly. We haven't played it in a while. We have another round of Clever Cosplay we're going to play. And for those that are not familiar, if you're a video watcher, we'll pull up a cosplay photo that's generally not the best, but kind of witty in the way they pull off a not great cosplay, if that makes sense. And we'll ask our panel to describe it and then give a positive comment before they give any negative comments, because we're very positive people around here. If you're listening to the audio podcast, and our descriptions don't do things justice to you, just go to our show notes. You can click on all the links right there. It'll tell you what all of these pictures are. I think I have 4 pictures for us today. And let's see, what are we going to start with? I'm going to give you guys a picture. I'm going to toss it to one Anthony Bachman to describe this as soon as it comes on screen. It's from a popular video game that many people have played on their iOS and Android devices. Some people have played on PC. And here we're giving you a side-by-side comparison of these characters. So, Anthony, why don't you tell us what we're looking at here?
You're looking at someone who wrapped some saran wrap around their head and then painted their head red to turn themselves into the main original bird from Angry Birds. And I gotta say, the giant eyebrows are awesome.
The giant bushy eyebrows are fantastic.
Yeah, they look like coasters, like they're giant. But yeah, the dude went all out with the face paint. He's got the nice beak done over his nose. But yeah, the saran wrap over his head is just creepy.
Those are cell phone cases.
Are they?
I don't know. I'm just.
They might be. They're fucking big.
They almost look like scrub pads from like those dishwashing wands or whatever that you can load up soap into the handle
Yeah.
of.
Hell,
But
they're
I'm not
big
sure
enough they
what
could
he
just be
used.
cell phones. They're just 1990s flip phones
Yeah.
glued to his eyebrow.
But you know, for probably something that was tossed together in like 10, 15 minutes, it's pretty well done. I mean, people, you can obviously tell he's the red Angry Bird, and then people are
Yep.
like, okay, I see it. So, kudos to you. If I gotta critique you a little bit, you got sloppy on the line work. Your
Yeah.
beak isn't very well done. You've got red bleeding into your yellow beak.
Don't
Yeah,
look
Shame
at
but-
on
it.
you, sir.
This one looks like the photo was taken after an hour at the party. Because, yeah, you
Yeah.
got, like, chunks missing off the nose and the bleed through. Like, at this point, he's already drinking and dancing, and that's why you're getting bleed through.
Right. So,
Like any wrestler with face paint.
yeah,
Exactly.
Just look at gold dust or stardust.
Yep, it always gets knocked off, sweated off.
So that's the first one we had. I'll take the second one. And this is from The Sims. I don't know if you guys ever played The Sims, the video game, but whenever your Sims go and get in the shower or anything like that, it pixelates over all of the flesh, so you don't see anything. Well,
Can we ding that porn music again?
You want me to play the porn music? I can do that for you. Yeah, a little porn music for you. But so
Nice.
what's going on in
Rolling.
this picture is there is a girl that has basically built a placard that sits over her front and back that is the pixeled out flesh tone you see in The Sims, and she's standing in the shower holding a loofah in one hand, and she also has the Sims green diamond that you see over the main characters that spins around their heads, sitting over top of her head. So it's pretty witty. I like it.
There's actually a name for those green diamonds, like an actual word they made.
Yeah, I can't
Uh,
remember what it was.
Plum bob.
That could
Plum
be it.
bob? That's
Plum
it.
Bob?
Yeah.
I don't know,
Bob.
but that's a good one. Like, yeah, the front and back placard with the pixelated squares. Like, and then she's standing in a shower and has a little sim diamond over her head. Like, that's a really good one.
It's really well done, and I don't imagine you had to spend a bunch of time on it. You just print out some different flesh tones to make the pixelated flesh tones, but well done. It's witty. It's a callback to a video game that tons of people played, and it allows me to play some awesome bumps.
Yeah.
So I think we might have talked this one to death, but seriously, well done. I like witty things. Willie, you ready for your first turn at Clever Cosplay?
Sure, let's do this.
These
Oh
things
my.
got a little out of order, so I can't remember which one I'm giving you.
Oh
dear.
my, really?
This was not intentional.
That's the.
Sucker!
Well, I'm looking at one of the most beautiful Ariel from Little Mermaid cosplayers I've ever seen. Has a little fork, a nice, gorgeous beard,
So
manly, hairy chest.
the fork is a great callback to the movie, though, because he's using the fork to comb her hair, which she did in the movie. She thought it was a comb. It's a nice callback.
Oh, you gotta love all that body hair.
It's insulation.
You can't compete with mine though, because I mean, my body hair makes Burt Reynolds blush.
Yeah, so this was I always try to get one that's like a gender cosplayer, just really funny to look at, but it's well done. I mean, if you even look, he built a base that he probably stands in, so it looks like the mermaid body is just stationary as he walks around.
Oh my.
There's some thought that goes into this to make a funny cosplay, because he's obviously going for people to look at it and laugh. I don't think
Yeah.
he's doing it seriously, like, hey, look, I'm a great Ariel. He's like, hey, look, this is pretty damn funny.
And it is definitely funny.
I might have
Cajun-
would have shaved my belly.
You might have. I look at the chat room right now, and Cajun Sean in all caps just says, "Oh dear God."
I agree with Cajun Sean. Oh dear God is the proper response.
Now, did he have to make that bra, or do you think he walked into a store and bought it and had to look the cashier in the eye and say, "Yeah, it's for me"?
No, that's homemade.
I
That's
think it's
definitely
homemade. I mean, you'd have to do it to make the seashell look that Ariel's bra had work, I would think. I
Huh,
don't
what
imagine
cup
they make
size
many
am I?
things that look like that. I don't know. It's witty. It's witty as shit, man. I'll give him
It
credit for
is.
that.
And there are lots of guys that'll do that where it's the like either larger guys or hairier guys that'll do the what is it, code 63, code 64.
Yeah, I can't remember what it is.
What?
But it's it's a cross gender cosplay. So you'll get a guy with Willie Nelson level of fur who will go to a con dressed up as Lilu from the Fifth Element
Or Wonder
in the
Woman or anything
bandages
like that.
with just body hair just hanging out of it.
Don't tempt me. I will do that.
I mean, but first of all, kudos to this guy for pulling off something funny and having not. He has no reason to be ashamed, but he's not coming out there and be like, haha, you guys should shame me. He's out there. He's like, hey, I'm having fun with this. You should enjoy it too. It's
Well,
a
I do have to
funny
say,
cosplay.
The caveat that just makes this picture is that his smile. He's like, yeah.
He's pretty
He
happy
looks
out
like he's
there.
having fun.
Yeah, I mean, and that's the important thing. Go and have fun with it. So I have one last cosplay for us, and we can kind of just group tackle this one, because if I remember right, it's a group shot. But our last
That's right. I want to
cosplay,
group tackle it.
we have one of America's favorite animated families. We have the Simpsons sitting on their couch.
Wow.
And they're all in gold face.
Yeah, that. I guess that it's not as it would be yellow face.
That's true. I didn't want to say yellow face. That could be construed as racist.
But it is though. It's straight yellow face. The Simpsons are yellow. They're not gold. But
Fair
yeah,
enough.
they're not trying to look Asian.
Well, not to be
But-
confused with the. Oh, but they didn't do it to the baby. This piss poor.
No, but I will give them credit. They tried to match this photo up. If you're listening to the show later, go and check out the show notes. But watching live, it's a side shot of the family dressed up as the Simpsons on the left and the Simpsons on their couch on the right. And they tried to recreate the scene. Like Bart has a slushie in his arms, the baby has a bottle, Lisa's holding a bowl of popcorn. Why could I not say the word bowl? The dog is sitting between Homer and Marge. Homer's got the remote in his hand with a beer next to him. They recreated this shot, even down to the tilted sailboat painting on the wall, because you can sort of see on here. It's a crappy image, I apologize, but there's a sailboat drawn on this piece of paper that's hung crookedly on the wall.
Yeah, which it is nice.
Did Marge get a tattoo?
It looks like Marge has a tattoo
Yeah.
and Homer has a pillow under his chest.
Yeah, I think. Yeah, Marge has got at least one tat.
And Santa's little helper has changed to being like a poodle kind of dog, maybe a cat. I'm not sure which.
Yeah, I think that's the one thing that disappoints me the most is the dog is just plain wrong. That's not Santa's little helper.
So compliments. I'm going to give them great attention
Now-
to detail. They recreated the scene.
Are you sure this is just cosplay, or is this the making of a Simpsons porno?
Ooh, I hadn't thought of that. You just wanted me
Since
to do
I've
this,
seen
though.
the Simpsons porno, I'm going to say no.
He just wanted the porn bump. I know it.
Because the
Send me the
Simpsons
link.
porno didn't have Maggie in it, and they were all adults.
I would hope Maggie's not in the Simpsons porno. That would be wrong.
Yes, it
Oh,
was.
so wrong.
The shit they did in the Simpsons porno was wrong, anyways.
Okay, touche.
I've also
But-
seen the Smurf porn.
I'm not going to ask. It's easier that way.
No, you can. It's okay.
I do like the haircut pieces they did. The hairs are ridiculous. Fucking Marge's is huge. Bart's
What
got his
is that?
giant freaking. I don't know. Marge's almost looks like a
The chef's hat, but extended.
yeah, like an
Yes.
extended chef's hat or something that would go like around like a piece of equipment that's some type of protective barrier. Like yeah, like something that would go over a water softener tank or something.
It
It's
almost
huge.
looks, yeah, it looks like almost a big piece of poster board they've crinkled some and then
Could
wrapped
be.
around her head.
And
I'm
then
not
yeah,
sure.
Bart's it looks like straight construction paper, but yeah, like it's perfectly straight up, and he's got the nice spikes on top.
It's super witty. I mean, I love the things like this that are like, hey, we know it's not the greatest, but we're going for the laugh effect, and we're going to make it just close enough you know what it is and can have a laugh. It's
Yep.
creative from that standpoint.
And I've seen it now too. Lisa is holding the spikes above the baby's head,
Yeah.
which I'm thinking is actually a little boy because it looks like he's got the sides of his head shaved. And so yeah, it's like we're not going to be able to get this kid to hold still and have the hair on his head, and so she's just holding it behind his head.
Yeah, so I think the only thing we're missing in this picture really is there's no cat. There's no Snowball the cat in the
yeah,
human
there's
side.
no snowball.
But that's okay. The rest of it's pretty close on, and you could tell looking at them like, hey, that's The Simpsons. And when you see the picture they based off of, you can be like,
Uh-huh.
you guys did
So,
a
yeah,
pretty good job.
Marge is also showing much more leg.
I was about
That's
to
true.
say.
Her
You
dress
pull
is
that down.
way
You're almost
shorter.
having a slip of some kind.
Slip of some kind. So we've gone through the 4 different cosplays we had here. So our job now, as the host of the All Things Good and Nerdy podcast, is we have to figure out the best and the worst. So I'll give you guys a quick refresher real quick. Whoops, that's the wrong tab, sorry. First tab.
That one was the best one.
Yeah, that was a Captain America picture, guys, because I was reading a story on the different costume evolutions there. But first we had the Red Angry Bird. Second up, we had the Naked Sim from The Sims. Third up, we had Ariel, crossplayed. and finally The Simpsons Family. So my question to you guys, which one's the best and which one's the worst?
In quality, I'm going to have to say The Sims.
I agree with you. My favorite one is the Sims one.
Yeah, Sims Girl wins hands down because it's almost a perfect, simplified, very easy cosplay.
Right.
But yeah, she did a good job on it.
Yeah, it reminds me of my childhood, try to watch scrambled porn.
That is a pretty nice callback, actually. So I got to ask you guys then, because if we have a winner, we got to have the one we like the least. We won't say it's the worst necessarily, but it's one we like the least. And which one would that be?
Ariel, because it made me throw up in my mouth a little bit.
No! I want to say Angry Bird.
And Cajun Sean in the chat room agrees with us that the Naked Sim is the best one. So we have a vote for Ariel, and we have a vote for the Angry Bird.
Yeah, I mean, all good for big dude rocking it and having fun, but I don't want to see that.
So
I don't want to see that.
I'm going to make my vote not based off of the people that did it, but based on the level of effort that went into it. So I would have to go Angry Bird because there is a good deal of effort that went into the other costumes. Like, he had to recreate the Ariel costume, build that base, things like that. And then The Simpsons, when they had to restage this photograph and even do the simple things of, like, hang the portrait crooked on the wall. So I think the most work went into these other costumes, and since this one was the quickest, the Angry Bird costume, I'll give that my vote. Not because it's bad per se, but just because the other ones are a little bit better.
Nice.
So that has been another round of Clever Cosplay.
Yay!
How was your first round of Clever Cosplay, Willie? Did you enjoy it?
You guys are always rough and jumping me into this.
We're never gentle.
No, we're really not.
Can't you just caress me a little bit first?
And Anthony, don't
Nope.
feel bad. In the chat room, Cajun Sean also said Ariel was the worst. So technically, we have a two-way tie between Ariel and the Angry Bird. So, listener, send us some feedback. Twitter message, Facebook message, email. Let us know what you thought was the best and worst. We'll revisit it next week and crown the final winner, if that makes sense. The final winner. I almost wanted to say the final countdown.
I was about to.
Because this is not going to be Gonna Geek. We're not going to start tying on everything. That's some bullshit.
So, looking at the time, it is about time to start wrapping up. But before we wrap up, it's probably about time to give an update on the fantasy football situation in the Killing Time League. So you guys want to hear that?
Oh, yeah.
It's that time for your weekly update from the Killing Time Fantasy Football League. Before we get into the standings, let's recap last week's action. In Week 2, we saw the Vinegar Strokes lose to the Rafi Bombs 117.86 to 94.80.
Rafi Bomb!
Next up, we had Yobagoya take on the Basement Dwellers and win in a squeaker 78.18 to 76 even. Third game of the week, we had the Pittsburgh Feelers. They pulled out a victory over the Double Entendres 106.74 to 87.5. In our fourth game of the week, we had Password is Taco eke out a win over the Unqualified Gamers by .02 points. It was 79.36 to 79.34 for the closest matchup in the league so far and in league history. Final game of the week, we had a battle of the Fellblades taking on the New Jersey Lobsters. The Lobsters beat them by about 12 points, 83.18 to 71.76. That was the action for Week 2, which gets us to our standings. We have a 5-way tie for first place with the Rocky Bombs, Pittsburgh Feelers, the Lobsters, Password is Taco, and Yobagoya occupying the top slot. In the bottom half of things, we have the Vinegar Strokes, Double Entendres, Unqualified Gamers, Basement Dwellers, and Fellblades. That's the update for this week. But don't worry, games are starting right now, and we'll have a new update for you next week to give you the latest in the Killing Time League. Until then, bye guys. The music for this segment is produced by Kevin MacLeod and can be found on Incompetech.com. Now that I have legally covered my ass, we have played the entire bit for the fantasy football update.
Yeah.
And I kid you not, we're like an hour away from the game starting, so next week's standings, everything could be completely different if you're following along. And if you're not, it's only a minute and a half of the podcast, so sorry.
If I actually understood more of how fantasy football played, I might have joined.
Well, we'll probably be playing again next year, knowing our luck. Well, not luck, but knowing how we work. I don't know. That was a terrible transition. Terrible, terrible, terrible. Speaking of terrible transitions, I'm going to move us into closing up the show. And we'll do that in our traditional way by sharing with the audience what we've been getting into, what we're planning on getting into. It's our way to basically say, hey, we like this. Maybe you should like it too. So, Anthony, I'm going to go with you last because you generally have a stack of comics. Let's toss it to
Fair
our
enough.
special guest host, one Willie D. Nelson. What have you been getting into? What are you planning on getting into?
Well, first of all, since it's part of the Gonna Geek Network, and it's actually what brought me into the Gonna Geek Network, is I've been listening to Legends podcast forever, and I just listened to the last news stream, I think Friday, and they did a little bump for All Things Good and Nerdy, and they mentioned me, and I was like, Wings and Beef is talking about me? My mind is blown.
That's awesome.
I've been listening to them for years and years. It's actually what brought me to the Gonna Geek Network, to actually listen to everybody part of it. So that's why I'm here today.
You're kind of cursing their name now. You're like, I've got too much crap to listen to now. Damn you all.
Oh no, I drive for a living, so I got plenty of time to listen.
Okay, there you go. Yeah, that's when I listen to most of mine because I drive about 50 minutes each way for work, so
40
I can
here.
knock out a podcast generally.
And I would say go to my YouTube to watch some Until Dawn gameplay, but only the first part's up because I cannot find my game. It is lost.
No.
I need to find my game and disc, but oh well.
Wasn't it missing last weekend? You still haven't found it?
Nope.
I hate it when that happens.
I gotta turn this place upside down. But I've actually also started. I actually popped my Kickstarter cherry too, thanks to Anthony Bachman.
Ooh.
The first one I did was for the Warden, and I hope that comic's going to be pretty good. It's standing at 26% right now.
Yeah, it's moving up there. But they still have a little bit of time. It's a pretty cool looking pulp noir anthology.
And that's what pulls me in. I like that.
Ooh, not
that
noir,
story.
pulp adventure.
Oh yeah, that's it. And lastly, I will be at 12:30 p.m. Eastern. I will be doing some more Quiplash.
So as we record this, that's about a half hour from now because it's 12:02 as we record East Coast time. Well, 12:03 it just changed. Sorry.
You can join me every Sunday at 12:30 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. Just go to twitch.tv/South Porky.
There you go. That's where you guys can find him, and I'll try and drop in today. I don't know. My schedule's all wonky yet again. It is what it is.
Not the wonks.
Not the wonk. So I'll go next. As for what I've been getting into, like I said earlier, I got to watch Heroes Reborn. That's really the only new fall TV show that I watched. I did watch the return episode of Castle because I love me some Nathan Fillion, and it was great. And I've just been getting caught up on stupid little comedies and things like that. I keep watching The League while I cook dinner and stuff like that. I'm hopelessly re-addicted to it. Probably the most interesting thing I got into is I'd been really meaning to read the book The Martian. It'd been on my list for a long time because I saw the trailers were out for the movies. I'd heard it recommended by folks. So Friday night, I picked up my Kindle because I'd already bought The Martian on that. I read probably about 30% of the book according to my Kindle Friday night. Saturday during the day, before I went to go to a football game that afternoon, all I really did was lay on the couch and read that book. And then this morning before the podcast, I finished it. Holy crap. The Martian is a really, really good read. I encourage anyone to read it that enjoys like space stories and survival stories. This is literally man against nature, but nature is the planet Mars in this case, so it's completely different than anything you would expect. The movie looks really good. It comes out next weekend. A lot of people I know that had already read the book said read the book before you see the movie or even the trailers, because I guess the trailer was slightly spoilery. I don't know. But I know at this point I'm going to go see The Martian this weekend, or this upcoming weekend, and I'm super excited by it.
Nice.
And then I guess also have to send a big shout out to one Steven Jondrew, aka Big Papa. He sent me some updated mic flags. They're on a heavier stock card stock. So now things don't wave around a little bit. So I've got 4 mic flags on there. I've got the ATGN one. I've got one for the Gonna Geek Podcast Network, for the Gonna Geek Podcast itself, and finally the Starling Tribune. So big thank you to one Big Papa for sending those to me printed out on card stock. It looks much better than my ghetto solution of printing things out on regular stock printer paper and having to weirdly glue them down. So I will continue to rep all of the fine shows on the Gonna Geek Network. And side note, if you guys need guest hosts for anything, I have one that's just straight up Gonna Geek Podcast Network. So I can do any show on the network now.
Chris is your pod whore. Just give him a call.
Not really. I don't do a ton of pod whoring. Just a little bit. Just a little bit. It's just the tip.
Oh, now you're JS.
He's the doctor. But Anthony, what have you been getting into? What are you planning on getting into?
As Willie mentioned, Kickstarter is one of the things that steals all my money. I backed the Warden Anthology, one that doesn't need any help, the Battle Chasers Night War video game. Joe Matt has finally decided to go back and finish the comic and do a video game based on it, but that one's got oodles of money. There's a couple other good comics that look like they're going to be really fun that I think both could use people's help. Wizard, Werewolves, Vampires, Goatmen, It's a Clusterfuck. That's the full title. Go check that one out. It looks really fucking funny. And then there's the Noir one. The reason I had Noir pulp in my head is there's a book, issue 2 coming out of The Locksmith. It's a cop that's basically in charge of protecting a door that contains another dimension. And just a weird looking book. They actually did like a full blown video trailer for issue 2 of their comic, and they have missed parts in the pledge levels where you can pick up the first issue if you missed it. So it's one of those good ones where it's easy. They made it easy to catch up. So I backed all of those, and then the Humble Bundle once again decided to steal my money. This one was a good one for comics. It is the Humble Comics bundle of Forbidden Comics supporting the banned Books Week. So what they did was they got a bunch of comics that have either been banned or like blacklisted in different places, and that's what makes up the bundle this time. And so you can support the publishers, Humble Bundle, or the Comic Book Legal Defense Fund is the charity that's attached to this one. And if you do the big $15 for everything, in the top tier is, I think it's an audio CD of Information Doesn't Want to Be Free with Neil Gaiman, Amanda Palmer, wrote it with Cory Doctorow, and it's read by Will Wheaton.
Oh, that's cool.
That one, it also has the volume 1 of Scott Snyder and Jock's new Image comic, Witches. The lowest tier includes Maggie the Mechanic from Love and Rockets, the Frank book, League of Extraordinary Gentlemen, volume 3, Comic Book Legal Defense Fund presents Liberty, and that one's got Robert Kirkman, Jim Lee, Ed Brubaker, Frank Miller, Mike Mignola, and more. Like, that book alone is worth the $15, and that's at the lowest tier, so you can get that one for anything. You also get Volume 1 of Bone, and then right now the average to beat is $11.75. If you go above $11.75, you get The Little Man, The Boys Hero Gasm Volume, Heartbreak Soup from Lug and Rockets, Barefoot Gen Volume 1, A Cartoon Story of Hiroshima, Side Scrollers, an Essex County book, and ElfQuest Volume 1, and more comics to come. So they haven't even finished adding them all yet. So it is a damn fine Humble Bundle. So yeah,
Sounds like it.
That came around on payday, and there is still 10 days left, so there's plenty of time to go get that one. But yeah, payday came around, I saw that one, I was like, oh, well, there goes $15. I think I have roughly about 300 comics in my Humble Bundle library that I haven't read yet. So at some point I'll have to... Yeah, at some point I have to get caught up on all those. And then, of course, there was indeed payday. There was a nice stack of comics.
Nice.
More of the... My brain just stopped. More of the Battle World Secret Wars stories are coming to an end. Spider Island is still kicking ass. Humberto Ramos' art is just gorgeous, drawing any Spider characters. In this world right now, they have Werewolf Captain America, Lizard Hulk, Stegron has turned a bunch of people into dinosaurs and reanimated dinosaurs, and all of Peter Parker's girlfriends are turned into lizards like Doc Connor. Like, it is a crazy fucked up world as they go to try to take on the Spider Queen and take Manhattan back from her in a world where Spider Island kept going. This one has one more issue to go. It's fantastic. The Spider-Verse, I believe, is now wrapped up with the throwdown between Norman Osborn and all the crazy kids that are going to form up the Web Warriors team once the Marvel Comics come back, so that was a good one. The Infinity Gauntlet got down to the family and Thanos meeting up with Adam Warlock to try to get their hands on the last stone, fighting a planet filled with giant bugs. That's been a really good one. Guardians of Nowhere. This issue is basically just a bunch of ass kicking between the random blue chick that shows up and picks a fight with Angela and Gamora, and just shit goes down. It's awesome. Almost the entire Guardians of the Galaxy team gets taken out. Like, it's a crazy fucking book. Age of Apocalypse is awesome. I believe this one came to an end to prove he is the strongest at the end of the last issue. literally Apocalypse crushed the canister with the legacy virus and let it go, and so it was just whoever lives because as Apocalypse's world, the strongest survive. And this issue starts off with Cannonball flying through the air, going, "Oh no, my powers!" And he just fucking explodes. So yeah, no more Sam Guthrie in that world. But yeah, so most of the stuff from Secret Wars is coming to an end. There's still a couple that are going, but they're getting ready to wrap everything up and bring us into the new Marvel Universe once Secret Wars is done. And then Star Wars Kanan, the story of the last Padawan. This has been awesome because it's now to the point where the first 5 issues were really the story of how Caleb Dune became Kanan, and now we have the comic keeps going forward in the Rebels universe, but you're seeing Kanan as he's going to planets, seeing flashbacks to when he was a Padawan. So it's awesome because you're getting basically more fill-in information that will be canon for the Rebels universe, and that one's good. And the artwork in it's fantastic. Action Lab just keeps kicking ass. They got the rights to basically every IP from Charles Band's Full Moon Entertainment. The Puppet Master book's been really good. The main 8 puppets all found a woman to transfer them back into human bodies, and now they're trying to actually live as humans.
So I'm going to interrupt you real quick. Did you see the new book Kyle Higgins is writing for Boom?
No, what's his new one?
Kyle Higgins is writing the Mighty Morphin Power Rangers book for Boom.
Oh,
with
shit.
the first season Power Rangers.
Oh, so it's the old team?
The old school team. With the green and white Ranger, that era Power Rangers.
That's awesome. Yes, Kyle Higgins, good.
Yeah.
Well,
what were you saying, Willie?
I said, get him, Tommy.
Oh, man.
Hell yeah.
That's like a callback right there. I loved me the Green Rangers. That was my favorite Power Rangers as a kid, and it just popped in my head, and I was like, oh, yeah, that's happening. I got to mention this. That's
awesome. Yeah, and if anybody hasn't read any of Kyle Higgins' books, he worked on Nightwing for a while. He did
Batman Beyond 2.0.
Batman Beyond. He did his own universe.
Cal,
yeah. I want to say The League. I know it wasn't The League. It was Cal.
The League was the student film he did in college that then created the Cal world after that, because he did a screening of it at a con I was at. It was really fun.
The dude is a hell of a writer. So yeah, if he's writing Power Rangers, I'm betting that's going to be an action-packed, fun-as-hell book.
October, I think it comes out. Mid-October.
October. Man, I might have to actually add another book to my pull list. Which, it's getting big again. With the start of all the Secret Wars stuff, I have a lot of new books starting, but a lot of those I have a feeling I'll be dropping after 4 issues into it when the superstar artist drops off. That tends to be when books tend to go away.
And I lied. It's January 2016. Power Rangers starts with Kyle Higgins at the helm.
January. Okay, so we got a little time.
You got time.
Princeless, Book 4, Be Yourself, still kicking ass. Jeremy Whitley's world of a princess running around saving herself and now saving the rest of her sisters. You get introduced, or actually you see the conclusion of what happened with the sister that's been hanging out with basically a vampire asshole. That's been a really fun book. Crazy swamp demons and shit and orcs and trolls in that one. And then Princeless Raven, the pirate princess, keeps putting her band of married women together so she can have a pirate ship filled with nothing but women pirates. This book is just weird and awesome. Awake #1 came out, started a new book from Action Lab, where basically a little girl that crashes to Earth as a falling star, and at the end of the first issue, you really don't know what the fuck is going on, but it seems really cool. It's one of those ones where it's just the intro, and you really don't know who or what this little girl is, but she's got crazy superpowers and what kind of looks like a giant, almost polar bear of a dog that's with her that talks. And yeah, it seems like fun so far. Really fun artwork. Invader Zim, issue #3 is still going. You have the giant galactic donkey. It's fucking Invader Zim. Like it's as crazy it can possibly be, and it's fucking hilarious. I laughed all the way through the issue. And then I was very sad to find out that Secret Identities from Image, they had issues 7, 8, and part of 9 plotted when they found out that due to sales, issue 7, this one was going to be the last issue. So they were actually able to make it a little bit thicker than normal. I think it's like 30 pages of story, but they were able to wrap up the entire story in issue 7. So it's only a 7-issue maxi series, basically. Amazing artwork from Kuriosis. I think the guy's Russian. Jay Farber, cool story. It's just an amazing take on like a Justice League type team. In October, I believe they're going to have a trade coming out that has all 7 issues combined with extra information, sketchbook stuff. But yeah, it was a great book. Because they knew the end was coming, they at least did give them time to wrap it up, and so the story does have an ending, which is really nice. And they did a really good job of kind of speeding up the ending to get you through, and then have to have everything come to an end, and then tell you what happens to the characters afterwards. But yeah, for anybody that just likes just great team books, it will be a fantastic one to pick up. Where in the trade you'll have a start, middle, and end. The whole story is there. And yeah, the artwork is just fantastic. I hope to see Curiosus on another book soon, because that dude's amazing. And then last but definitely not least, number 123 of the best comic in the universe. And they even topped it again, because they have along the top, it's the best superhero and superheroes crossed out comic in the universe. But on the bottom tagline is, "Look out, this issue is as awesome as the cover is misleading."
Nice.
This leads into Reboot for Invincible, which I was as excited as I was scared. And having now seen how that storyline is started, I'm not as scared. It's one of those things where it's still Robert Kirkman, and if anything, you gotta have faith in Robert Kirkman. He's read all the superhero comics. He's been part of the the superhero universe for years. And 123 issues into Invincible, he's not just gonna wipe everything away. But this does start Reboot. And I'm really excited to see what the hell he's going to do with it now, because it's a very strange thing where pretty much the last page of this issue is the first page of issue 1.
Oh.
And so yeah, it's basically he kind of put in a loop, and it's crazy to see what he's doing, but knowing that, I mean, it's fucking Kirkman. Kirkman's a genius. We know he's a genius. He's gonna have something planned that I'm excited to see what he's gonna do with it now. But yeah, I'm not as scared as I was when they said they were gonna do a reboot where it was just gonna restart the book. This is it's part of the story, and I know that Kirkman's gonna make it make sense. So I'm excited to see what he's gonna do. Yeah, this is still the best comic that I get every month. It tops everything. Nothing's better than Invincible. And I saw one of my friends put up a list of his top favorite his top 10 comic book artists, and I was a little shocked to see that Ryan Ottley wasn't on that list, because Ottley has to be in that list for me, because since issue 8, that guy has drawn every single issue of Invincible, other than fill-ins from Cory Walker, the original creator, who would do half stories in some of the books. But basically, he's drawn 15 issues of a comic in a row. Like, the dude's a fucking workhorse. It's amazing.
Yeah, that's impressive. That's almost up there on Bagley levels of commitment to his series.
Yeah. At this point, yeah, it's Bagley followed by Ottley and Adler. Because for those that also don't know, Robert Kirkman has a thing about getting fantastic artists to co-create a book, and then that artist falls off because they can't keep up with a monthly schedule. Tony Moore co-created The Walking Dead, but only did the first 5 issues. Since issue 6, Charlie Adlard has drawn like 140 some odd issues of The Walking Dead. That dude is also just an unstoppable fucking workhorse.
Yeah, it sounds like you've got a stack of stuff to read. I need to get to my local comic book store probably next weekend, because I have 2 months worth of comics to pick up. I am so far behind.
That's not good. Yeah, I can't do that anymore. But now that I'm caught up, it's nice, because literally I went in and bought my stack, and this was my entire stack. My box is empty again, and my store owner is happy.
So it was funny.
That's 2 weeks worth.
While you were going through your stack of books in there, Cage and Sean said, "Hey, you got indie titles in that stack." And I said, "I'm sure there are some Action Lab comics." Right as you started describing the Action Lab, I pushed enter, and I was like, "Oh, perfect timing." I was like, I know one thing. It's that Anthony loves Action Lab.
Yes, I do. Yeah, I don't specifically like any indie titles over, the big 2, but also at this point, DC's got me to the point where I've dropped every one of their books, and so I always was a Marvel zombie from the get-go, so more than likely I'll always be picking up at least a couple of Marvel books. It's pretty much guaranteed at this point I will be getting Amazing Spider-Man till the day I die.
Or at least until Dan Slott's off of the book.
Yeah, or at least until Dan Slott dies, which, I'm hoping we can get another 600-700 issues out of him, which the son of a bitch has already written like 300 in a row, so like he's good to go.
So I have
Dan
to
Slott's
say,
fucking fantastic.
I was watching Dan Slott on Twitter last night, and he was tweeting a bunch of pictures. I guess he was on the set of Doctor Who and taking pictures in the TARDIS. And I have to say, I'm not a huge Doctor Who fan. I'm the weird one that loves Torchwood. I call it the John Barrowman effect. I'll watch Torchwood any day over Doctor Who. But I sent him a tweet. I doubt he saw it or even would have replied to it, but I was like, it's really cool just to see the joy and excitement on your face. I'm not even a Doctor Who fan, and I was excited to see just how excited he was to be in the TARDIS and things like that. It was really cool.
It is awesome, yeah. Dan Slott is a total fanboy. It's awesome to see him geek out over stuff because he does geek out over stuff. The guy is just as big of a fan of, nerd culture as, anybody that's reading his books.
Looking at the time now, though, we do need to start wrapping things up because I am terrible at keeping us on schedule, and we've run over by about 15 minutes today. So,
Oh, well.
before we wrap up the show, don't forget you can find us every Sunday at 11 a.m. Eastern, 10 a.m. Central, and I'll let you do the math from there over at live.atgnpodcast.com, Channel 3 of Alpha Geek Radio and Alpha Geek Video, and also on GonnaGeek.com/live. It's part of our plan to basically be everywhere we can be to ensure you can watch us on Sunday mornings. And if you can't watch us live, it's okay. We'd love to have the live listeners in the chat room, but you can always get our back catalog over at atgnpodcast.com. And if you've listened or watched the show and you've got comments for us, we welcome those. Hit us up on Twitter at ATGNpodcast, on Facebook at facebook.com/allthingsgoodnerdy, or you can even email us to, atgnpodcast@gonnageek.com. And best of all, the best way to get in touch with us, give us a call on the ATGN hotline. That's at 304-806-ATGN. And I'm running out of breath as I say that.
You made it, Chris.
Too much screaming and yelling at a football game yesterday. I can't handle much more of that. So, before we get out of here, you guys got any parting shots for us? Any last nuggets of wisdom?
Robbie Bomb!
I do have to say I apparently have some friends watching live right now. I got to give a big shout out. Thank you, Land, a.k.a. Fro and Bro will live on. And then to some lovely ladies. You have, of course, Robin out there, Brittany, Bug, you're always awesome. Chelsea, you're always good. And don't forget, this makes fucking Burt Reynolds blush.
I can't believe he did that. Somebody please make an animated GIF of that for us. That's at the 1 hour, 16 minute, and 45 second mark about.
He's posing.
I don't mind being a meme. Let's do it.
Well, guys, I don't even know how to get us transitioned off the show, but I guess we're just going to leave on that note. We'll see you next week. Bye, guys.
Bye.
And I just got you guys to have this playing in your head when Willie's GIF comes out of him taking off his shirt. Yeah. Just keep that in your head. We're getting out of here. Bye, guys.
Later, everybody.
Later.